Yo.
Yo se la mamo y se pone contenta. Esta Willy y ya cumplió los 30. Después de las 12 no los cuenta. No la llamen el jangueo si no quiere que mienta. Todos escuchan el número no es venta. Por eso con nosotros nadie inventa. Me siento como un bicho de los 90. Tengo parado pan porque lo siento. Dale mami, pégate. Tírate. Si me miras mucho sabes que voy a desarte. Dale mami, pégate. Tírate. Si te lo tengo la barra, pero voy a llevarte.
Mira, puñeta, no me quiten el
Gym's going good. Was in the gym, it was good. Trying to get back into training. Feels like week one. Because a while ago, if you guys remember, at the end of August, I got into a bike accident. It was bad. I broke my rib. My back was messed up. And it even messed up my shoulder. So, fuck. Training. I didn't train for like 40 days. So I only just started training like again last week. Felt like week one. So I've just been very technical with everything. Just been very more technical with everything in the way I've been training. Still don't have still not 100%. Man, it sucks. There's certain things that I can't lift anymore. Certain things I can't do. Move. I'm like, fucking sucks. Yo. Gym was good though. Getting back into it. Feels like literally feels like phase one. I just did pull-ups for the first time in since August. Yeah, literally, I just did pull-ups for the first time since August. I only did 15. Fuck. I used to be able to do 50. In August, I could bang out 50. I just did pull-ups for the first time since August. I could only do 5, 5, 5. Fuck. Rough. So I feel weak sometimes. I feel weak when I'm in the gym right now. I feel weak. Fucking sucks. That's what an injury will do to you. Makes you realize how much an injury will set you back. Holy. Holy. Because the first 3 weeks were just September 1st to September 20th. And I was traveling too. Put myself through some stuff. Crazy. The first 2-3 weeks were rough. Gold, yo, anybody who's been following, 3 days ago, I went over the play. 3 days ago. I went over it a pretty detailed session. If you're on 3 days ago, it was a pretty detailed session about where gold was at. I even went live that same night. I went live twice that day because I was like, I want to get this information out. That was 3 days ago. It was a pretty detailed session. I'm not gonna go over everything. I don't think I'll go over everything I went over that session, but it was a pretty detailed session about what gold could do next or where gold was at. Because that day, when we were last on, I didn't stream today. If you're in the inner circle, I didn't stream today. There was no stream today. But if you guys watched the last 2-3 streams I did, it was the same discussion. If you guys watched the last 2-3 streams, and there was only 749 views on this one 3 days ago. More of you guys should have seen this. More of you guys should have seen this stream. Because if you watch this stream, pretty on point. Like if you watch both of them, there was two. They were both pretty on point with what the market was doing. More of you guys should have seen these two streams though. They were there. They were there for 3 days. That was Friday. That was Friday afternoon. Before the market was closing. And then I went live again Friday night. Cause I was like, yo, gotta let the people know. And then we even talked about this on Saturday. If you're in my inner circle. Last 3 sessions I've pretty much talked about the same thing. We had remember if anyone was here, 4-hour rejection with the smiley face. We talked about 4,200. So I mean, there's always something we talk about. Like on these streams if I do streams frequently, whether I stream or not, there's always some clues or information that I try to give you guys on any stream. Like you could go back on any stream we've done. So like if I don't stream, like make sure you try to even watch streams that I do, because like whether I stream or not, I'm telling you, we could go back and I always talk about these things. These moves that could happen. I always give hints, I always give clues. So I went live again. So Friday night, or 2 days ago, see 2 days ago, so 3 days ago and 2 days ago I went live. That was when the market was closed, because I was saying, okay, now the market was closed and the 4-hour flipped bullish. Kept it simple, kept it real simple. On those sessions, we talked about the scenarios that could happen. We talked about a lot of gold news. I even said like it could pull back. There's too much I said. Like that's like 3 hours. Like both of those streams were 3 hours. So like there's piled up into those 2 streams. I was talking about the same thing. Was anybody on those streams? I want to know. Type in the chat if anybody was on those streams. Come on. I went live twice to talk about the same thing. I hope you guys are on those streams. It was interesting because if you go on those streams, I talked about how even in the inner circle, if you're in the inner circle, I talked about it too. How going into Friday, the market's been in a buy. Like a few streams, if you guys have taken notes, because I remember what I said. I give you guys this information, right? If you guys were on the last couple streams, especially anybody who's in the inner circle, last week, like finishing last week, so like Thursday, Friday, or even Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, whenever we were last live last week, I talked about, and you could see it here on this chart. We're back testing my stream. We're back testing right now on my stream right now. See those lines that I marked? I explained this on at least 2-3 streams last week. Okay, you can go back. It's there. Those red lines are Friday. So like the previous Fridays. One thing I mentioned was that going into Friday, gold has been in a place to buy. Like you've had like a midweek reversal every week. Like every week there's been like a midweek reversal going into the end of the week. Like Friday, end of the week, the markets have been in a good place to buy for gold going near Friday, going into Friday. Now, last Friday might have been a little tricky knowing that information because the market was already dropping Friday morning. But it still positioned itself in like a end of the week buy to go into this week. It's literally been following a pretty consistent flow of gold. Through the last like 60 days, I've been on the gold chart a lot, like watching it, and I've recognized some patterns like this. This is one pattern that I've recognized with like the weekly flow, because we've had a lot of demand with gold. There's been more buys going into your Fridays, going into, and I explained this last week. So remember, I explained this last week. So this isn't random. I've explained this multiple weeks too, as we've recognized this pattern. So like if you look at like last or 2 weeks ago, like this is Friday marked. Before Friday, like the market was going up. It was going up, it was doing its thing, and then you had like a midweek reversal into the end of the week, positioning itself for the next week. It's been really doing that. End of the week, it's been finding a spot. Like if you look at Friday, realistically, look at where we're at now. Friday positioned itself for a perfect buy going into this week. It's been doing that consistently through this uptrend. Like what's one pattern we've been able to recognize with gold in this uptrend is like Fridays, Thursdays going into Fridays, basically like that end of the week has positioned itself for a good buying opportunity, and it's pretty much been swinging early week has been kind of gaining that momentum. Now it's in a similar spot it's been in. It's testing the high. It's questionable. We're going to run over gold analysis throughout this session and some of the things that are questionable about what it could do from here. But most weeks, following this uptrend, this parabolic move we've gotten on gold, wherever Fridays have been, like I've been able to recognize that, and I've followed that a few weeks once I recognized it, even if Fridays haven't looked like they're in the best spot. Most of them like have a sell-off before. So most Fridays are in a spot where, and again, I started to recognize this like last month, like in September is when we were recognizing this. That's why I was able to capitalize on it sometimes this month. It's had that consistent flow where since a certain point, end of the weeks have always been bullish going into the new week. All right. It's had that for a majority of the weeks. This one pattern I've been able to recognize with gold and kind of stick to. I was able to capitalize on it this week, like literally Friday I entered some trades, held them over the weekend. And then last night I had some trades, and I didn't look at them until like I woke up late this morning. And it's kind of a good thing sometimes waking up late. I woke up at a point where it was like I'm up 600 pips on one trade, or $60 on one trade, and $50 on like another. So it's like it was good. Didn't look at the trade too much. But one thing I said last week. So this is a pattern I recognize. Friday. This is one, and I've gone over this. Especially if you're in the inner circle. If you're in the inner circle, like if you've been in the inner circle for the last month or so, it's something I've talked about on sessions. I brought it up here last week. So Fridays I've given you go. You can study this. Go on your chart. Don't just look at what I'm doing on my chart. Take this information. Go on your chart and look at it for yourself. Right? Study this, backtest it, understand it. Part of trading is just recognizing patterns, behaviors, recognizing trends. We've been able to recognize a clear trend this year with gold. A lot of things have aligned with gold to create that trend. Soon there's gonna be videos soon. Like I'm gonna be dropping a whole new course soon. I'll let you guys know when. And from Wednesday to like December 10th, I'm doing a lot. You guys will see on my stories soon. Yo, smash that like button, fam. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys watch all my YouTube videos. Like, there's a good amount of people joining the inner circle. We have almost 500 members in the inner circle now. I don't know if all of you guys have watched all my YouTube videos, but I know like the OGs, like the people who joined maybe in the beginning have, like, so there's a lot of videos on my YouTube channel that go back from like a year ago. So a year ago I started posting videos on YouTube. there's a good amount there. A lot of like the OGs, the people in my inner circle, I would say, like, because people have been joining the inner circle. I don't know if all of you guys have seen all my YouTube videos, but I would say I know for a fact, like, there's people who have watched some of my YouTube videos 2 or 3 times that are inside the inner circle, like a good amount, that are having great results, understanding everything, tying things together. There's been some crazy results. I saw some crazy results last week. Those of you guys who are having good results, like, make sure you pay yourself, take some profits. Some people are having some crazy results. Like, I seen this account flip 200 euros to 14,000. I know people like this have watched all the videos, not just in the inner circle, but on my YouTube. Like, he's in the inner circle. He's definitely, because I know him, he's definitely watched like probably all my YouTube videos and all the videos in the inner circle more than once. He's been consistent on the sessions. Like, that's all it takes. Like, there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of information. It just takes watching the videos, maybe even 2-3 times for some, till things click. Studying the stuff on the charts. I wish I called out a trade today, but I was slow today. I was tired today. Hopefully you guys do good today. Hopefully you guys, it was really simple. We didn't have to overcomplicate it. It's been the same thing we've been kind of following all year. So let me go back to something. I was able to catch some good moves on gold today. I don't know if any of you guys were. Let me know in the chat if you guys were able to catch some good moves. I was able to catch like some good swings from like market open till like New York session. Made $4,200 on one account. Small lots too. I have some small, not the big. Look at my trade sizes. They're not the biggest positions. This is where volatility comes in. So right now, what you guys, we're about to finish the year. What you guys just witnessed was the first year of the markets under President Trump. We have 3 more years of President Trump. 2026 is probably going to be similar to 2025 in terms of volatility. We have October left and then November left. December, maybe a month to look at where crypto's at. Focus on crypto, see where the cryptos are at. Slow down a bit, because the December is kind of like a slower season with the market, especially like around Christmas time. But like, you could see the position sizes here. This is the market we have right now in front of us, even this week. And when I say in front of us, I mean this week, this month, the next month, and then even 2026. 2026 is going to be volatility. For anybody who's gone through trading this year, you have to adapt to the volatility, because you have to recognize, like, we have 3 more years of president. We just went through pretty much year number 1. Like, we're year number 1 of President Trump, and you can see like how volatility can play a role in the market if you've been on the charts the last couple months, especially if you've been on the charts the last year. So like, there's volatility in this market. Some people say that's a double-edged sword. They say that in trading terms. There can be opportunity there if you have the right patience, if you can adapt to things, if you can make a right plan, right strategies, and eliminate the emotions from making decisions. You don't need a lot of trades. You don't need a lot of trades to find opportunity, especially when there's a market with a lot of volatility. When we're getting moves like this in the days we're getting moves like this. So mentally, you have to kind of prepare yourself and understand, no matter how much I don't trade, there's going to be opportunities. There's going to be at least 2 opportunities a week for me, or 3 opportunities a week for me. I don't have to catch every single move, because the more you look at the chart, the more you're going to see so much more volatility. The more you're looking at the chart, the more you're going to see so much more price swings now. Like gold's moving 30, 40, $50 like nothing. So you have to mentally like let yourself be okay with like not FOMOing into the volatility when you see these moves, and know that there'll be 2 opportunities a week, 2 to 3 opportunities a week, and that can make my week, or that can even make my month. Catching the right 2-3 trades in the week maybe could make your month, right? Especially going into this market environment like that we've been in this year. We got like a lot of us traders, investors, whether you're invested in, especially if you're in crypto, if you're invested in crypto, you've seen the volatility there. Nah, barbers ain't buying crypto. Nah, barbers ain't buying crypto yet. Nah, they don't know. Well, I mean, like think about Bitcoin. It's 110K and it's boring right now for retail. I guess like Bitcoin won't get exciting until it's like 200,000 or 300,000 a coin for like most people again. And then like when it's 500K, and then everyone will be like, it's going to 1 million. Like it's prices like Bitcoin's 110K. It's prices we once dreamed of. It was like it's at prices that were once a myth. And it's like, no, I don't think your barbers want Bitcoin. No, to be honest, I don't feel that right now. I feel like it's like Bitcoin's at 110K, and it's like, it's boring. Like it's not. It's like, yo, Bitcoin's 110K. It's like, good job. I did a good job. Like look at what it's done. It hit 125, 126. It's like, damn. I don't know. It's interesting. So earlier this year, and you can back test this. I got the receipts. If you go back to the beginning of the year, because I started live streaming on YouTube 9 months ago. So if you go back to 9, 8, I can't tell you exactly which sessions they are, but it would have been between January and March. Okay? It would have been all back here. It would have been between January and March. So one of the strategies I adapted to this year was because of this market here. Between January and I would say all the way up until May, I was trading one style, all right? And all I was doing was waiting for 4-hour corrections. So going into early 2025, and you can go back on the streams, and you can see me talking about this on the streams. A lot of streams, I was talking about this. Because to me, I was super bullish on gold beginning of the year. I was like, with all the uncertainty, all the wars. If you go back to my streams, March, April, I was super bullish on gold with the tariffs, all the uncertainty in the world. Go look at the video I made 3-4 months ago on gold. So I was more bullish. Like I've always had a bullish bias directed to gold this year, pretty much 90% of the time. That 10% is usually where I would get cooked. Let's just say. That 10% where it was bearish, where the market would be bearish sometimes, is where I would sometimes get cooked. Like in May and July. But back in the beginning of the year, it was pretty steady. Gold, every time it went up, all I was doing was waiting for corrections. So all I was doing, because I was bullish. Like I already formed a strong bias early this year for gold. So for me, I was bullish. So all I was doing was waiting for the 4-hour corrections. I would let them get to as extreme as they could. Right, and in the beginning of the year, gold would have these corrections. Like These nice corrections on the 4-hour that were clear. You could clearly see them on the 4-hour. You could identify them on the 4-hour. Once it started to do some of those enough times, I just started to catch on to it. So once it started to do it, it just took a few for me. You can literally go back to January streams, and I was teaching this back in January, all through February, up until March. So once it started to do a few, I started to just catch on to every time it corrected, it was a buy the dip situation. All right. Now, that's how I've been trading up to this point. Up to this point, that's pretty much how I've been trading gold. Is more of like a buy the dip situation. Who knows how much longer we have of that? Like, we've been on a super uptrend. But after a few times, I just started to notice gold would have steady pullbacks on the 4-hour. And it consistently did this. Not just once, not just twice, but if you go from the beginning of the year and you look at how many corrections, how many deep pullbacks gold has on the 4-hour, there's quite a few. They add up. And I've even probably missed some, but... So every single one of these pullbacks, I was just pretty much closely watching, letting happen. I started to catch on to, like, because if you look, the more we go up, the more this goes up, every single pullback would just get eaten up. It would get eaten up. And then even when we went into this like train wreck here, it still got eaten up. So a time of adversity where the pullback gets deeper and you might think, oh, we're going into a downtrend, but it shows you that the market just remains. So early on, I started to catch on to like every pullback like this year would get eaten up, eaten up, eaten up. You can see gold would fall. There's times gold would fall down to 1.8%. It would make a, like a decent drop down, 1.8% here. Here we dropped 1.5%. Here we had a drop of 1.3%. So you can see along the way up, every dip here was bottomed up. So it's been one of the approaches for gold. 4-hour worked well for it in the beginning of the year. Buy the dips on gold, buy the dips on gold. A lot of these were great swings. Pretty much like the higher and higher this went, 4-hour offered like a lot of good buying opportunities. There was two big ones here, like similar to what we've seen this week. Like, see these two pretty much like crashes. All year, gold has been a pretty much like a buy the dip situation. You can see after these strong moves happen, price just goes up. That was in the beginning of the year. The summer months, gold stalled. And it was hard. It was a bit harder to trade like that because the trend wasn't continuing. So, because there was more equal buyer and sellers in the summer months. Like the dips, you'd get buying opportunities, but they wouldn't stick. So in the summer months, it got to a point where it was like, okay, there was buys, but it wouldn't give you like the swings always. You had to attempt a few more times. It wasn't like it was swinging. There was more equal buying and selling in the summer times, summer months like May, June, July. And then this breakout, like once this started breaking out again, it's been similar to what happened in like the beginning of the year. I started to notice, so there's been some opportunities like these last few months, even on the 4-hour, where it's been pretty easy type of strategy. Again, like a buy the dip situation. Now, last week, we talked about this last week. We talked about how gold went down like 4% on the stream. One of the last streams we did. We talked about this. This is like this is 4%. Like price dropped almost $200. Dropped $190. Some of these moves down are big. Like price here drops $115. You can see back here, price has a correction of $76. The higher this goes up, the bigger the moves are getting. Like the higher the volatility, the higher the volume, the bigger these drops are gonna be. The higher price goes up. Even in the beginning of the year, it was like that. Like all these dips, like if you look back here, price would drop $48, which at the time was like a very big move. Now, think about it, price like gold. Here, price drops $48. Right now, gold is moving like $40 on like a 15-minute chart. It's moving $30, $40 on a 15-minute chart. This is a 4-hour we're looking at. Right now, with the volatility in the market, like you're getting like literally $30 movements on a 15-minute chart, or in literally hours. So if you look at the beginning of the year, you get like $48 down, $41, these $38, $55, $30. The higher it went up, the bigger the moves even got. Here it goes down $73, $68, and then it drops $123. So you gotta play, like the sells will get bigger the higher this goes up. Like the dumps, these sells, they'll be faster and bigger. It pretty much, since this is broken out though, like anything you've seen really on the 4-hour, there hasn't been a lot, but there's been enough to catch some good swings on the 4-hour. Anytime the 4-hour has dropped, it's pretty much put in a good base or floor for gold. Like anytime you've had the 4-hour noticeably drop, it's put in a good floor. So like a strong support for gold. We literally talked about this last week. Same thing I said. I literally said this last week. I showed you guys how anytime 4 hours dropped, you've made a floor. So you've gone back to the high. So it's like this part's important because it's gonna go into where we are now on the chart. Like anytime the 4-hour has corrected, it's gone back to the high. All right. Like anytime your 4-hour, because we've been making higher highs, we've been just making all-time highs. Gold's pretty much price discovery going parabolic. We've been making higher highs on gold. So like anytime your 4 hours had that drop, there's been a good reversal. 4-hour rejection candlestick here. It's really simple stuff. This is why I like trading gold, because I've noticed simple stuff like this works. That's why I just like gold. 4-hour rejection. So like I said, anytime 4 hours dropped, it's formed a good floor. It's gone back to the high. Price came back to the high. It broke it. So anytime we've dropped, we've created a good base, or like floor. And yeah, the market finds its way to come back to the high. Usually. Like you can see here, price makes this high. It comes down and then it reverses. But then it comes back to that low. So it still stays under the high, but eventually it breaks the high. It's questionable when you're in the market, like we're in a market like this, it's questionable if you're going to break the high or not, right? This is going to all follow up with where gold's at right now. Like you could see we ended up making a higher high and then corrected again. Came back up, broke the high. So every time the 4 hours corrected, like there's been a base or a floor trying to get created. Right, like here you've had your 4 hour went down, we created a strong base for gold last week. As we go, like you can see, as you go, it shows you there's been some good opportunities with some of these 4-hour pullbacks. Also shows you, like, this is an experience to remember. Shows you when there's momentum, when there's a trend, how it can perform, and how if everything's aligned, how you can make the most of it. This was a serious trend with gold. We've had people in the inner circle have results like. We've had people in the inner circle in like weeks, months make results that have been like crazy results, like stuff like this. $600 to 21K. People asking if this stuff's real. This stuff is all real. A couple people were messaging me. I posted a video on my Instagram. We had an inner circle student who took like $600 to 21K and also 1K to 20K. Some people are asking me if it was real. This looks real to me here. This here you got the. It's real. 600 profit. Withdraw. The volatility, like, look at these lot sizes too. Like the volatility has been there. That's a crazy flip though. That's an insane flip. Yeah, most people just post their stuff in Discord, I've been noticing. This guy's cooking. This guy's cooking. What do you got there? Oh, it's a fat account. That's a fat account. Bro, these fake accounts are getting crazy. If anyone ever messages you about a trading bot, we don't have any trading bots, any auto bots. Nah, we don't have any of that stuff. Trading bots, this, that, like, I was seeing that. Man, it's getting crazy. People message me every day about it. Good day today. Even when I don't stream, people find a way to, the knowledge is there. That's a good day. Look at these moves. These are the moves gold's giving right now. Like, I had some small, like, go look at the positions I traded, because I withdrew my account and I trading on a smaller balance, so I'm just trying to scale it up. That was last week. Anyway, back to this real quick. Back to this. Gold dumped, formed a base, so we have the lows here. Like, it's questionable if we're gonna break the high. If we're gonna break the high, I mean, if you look back, it's broken the high every time. But there's sometimes it stays underneath it. It goes back to the low, or it tries to sweep the low. Like in a situation like this, it's more like, okay, well, it's at the high. It could reject here. Doesn't mean it's super bearish. Like, it could reject, try to come back to the low. Try to test the low, revisit, or even sweep the low. The reason I say that is because, like, I go back to some of these moves down here. That's why I started down here. I started down here before I went to where gold's at right now. So you've had higher highs. You've had these all-time highs, right? That have come off of 4-hour corrections. If you want a strong signal for bullish on gold, you want the market to really break the high sooner than later. You want to see momentum, just keep flowing, break the high, like, no problem. If it fails, because it could fail, like if you look at what happened here, and then look what happened over here. You have two all-time highs, okay? You have a correction, Price bounces, it comes back to the high. It doesn't break through, it fails. Like it just goes. It goes down. And it comes back to the low, and it actually takes the low out. It sweeps the low. So like there's two different scenarios that gold could be in right now. Like if a bullish signal, like knowing like, okay, we're really bullish still, is like if it just really easily breaks the high, if it just gets through that high and breaks through it. Because it could fail here. It could fail at this price, have some rejection down, potentially. You have to backtrack price right now a bit. Like what I would do, like backtrack price, do what I'm doing. Backtracking price, like looking at previous all-time highs, right? So this was a previous all-time high here. Price came up to it. That was what, Friday? There was news probably that morning. It just broke right through. So it's like that scenario tells me like how would that have been feeling there? How would I have been feeling? It's like it's a strong market sentiment. It's strong volume. Price is breaking out very strong, aggressively. Easy candle, just cleans, breaks through, closes above. So it's like that's an easier continuation factor. You can see here when price got above the high, it did continue more. So like getting above the high, it's like that would be a strong bullish signal still. Like, okay, we're still bullish early in the week. You look at some of these highs, all-time highs that price makes when we make an all-time high like here. Price does go down. Retraces. So you always get that, like all these dips give you that rebound. Like they always give you like a rebound. Some of them go back to the low or take out the low. We're basically at like this point. You got to think about where we are. So what I would do is think about where we are in price. How could you, what's your like plan A, plan B? If price does this, I'll do this. If price does this, I'll do that. Like, because we're basically at, think about it, this was an all-time high. I'm talking about the corrections. So price had a correction there. We're like right here, like underneath the high basically. You know, all-time high. We're like technically like right here right now. We might be right here right now, who knows, or right here for the breakout. These previous all-time highs that price made. See here? You have your correction down. Price comes back to the high. Rejects it a bit, but it breaks through it, ends up breaking through it. And then going, so we're at that point. Like, look at where the market was last week. Like, let's go back to last week, 2 weeks ago, with this move down. Right, you had that correction that rejected. Okay. Price comes up. It's at the high. It's testing the high. So you have to kind of know what's next, right, in terms of like where price could go. Because like if you're here, so if you're like right here, how many options do you have, right? You're testing the high. That's kind of like where we're at right now. We're testing the high. What's my opinion? I think we're gonna go higher. I think we're gonna break the high. Personally, I think we'll break the high. But we could still just watch. We don't have to be aggressive in that sense of like trying to buy the high or buy at the high. But like the market, think about this move down. Like what scenarios do you have? What options do you have here, right, to play price when you're testing a high? Does that fit with your entry model? Does that fit with giving you a good entry? It's times like that where if you think you're gonna break a high like that, you're really gonna have to like go to the smaller time frame and try to find something maybe recognizable on a smaller time frame with price, or try to play like the smaller levels, you'd have to like play that first like breakout on the smaller time frames. Right now, price is, you know, at psychological level as well, 43.50. I know another week where I'm saying, I think this sentence again, like I know it's exciting, we want to be bullish on gold, but we are at a high. Like, is it reasonable to buy here? No. I was buying down here, and there's positions that I just still wish like I just should have went a little. I knew I was gonna go heavy on buys, and then like I was like, you know what if like I was gonna go heavy on buys, and I laid back a little bit. Still made good money. Still floating on one trade. Like, look at these. These are good trades. Look at these positions. And this is so I'll explain this entry. This is a different entry. I'll explain this. I should have called this one out, but I'll explain this. This is a good entry. But look at the lot sizes. This is like what the market's giving this type of momentum right now for gold. Of like, I usually trade with bigger lot size, but I'm also not entering at one price. Like, I have different prices here, but these little flipping 005s, small lots, kind of like some of them. Even just trading with one of these, like not having all of these, like I'm saying, like if just one of these positions were here, it's a pretty decent trade. Or just one of these, like it's a pretty decent move. Like the moves the market's making right now, volatility's up. Because we got like, man, it's like, this market's totally different than the Joe Biden 4 years, like 2020, 2021, 2022, 2024, like, because I was trading gold. You can go back to like my Facebook. I think a lot of you guys in my inner circle, all my close friends, you can go back and look at my story highlights and see like I was trading gold like all 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, like heavy, like 20 lots, 10 lots, swinging. The volatility is different right now. The volatility is different right now than it was like with Joe Biden. We had Joe Biden and Donald Trump, two different markets, two different markets. I'll tell you, in terms of like volatility, two complete different markets. Am I living? Yo, no, I live downtown. I live downtown. So like, look, it's like I pretty much like I live in Toronto, so this is like downtown New York, but not New York. Concrete jungle type of like downtown environment. I have my window open, that's why. I live right downtown, so my barber bought his house at BTC. Oh yeah, I mean, hey, some people do what they want, you know. If it's You can always move your house to BTC. You can move your BTC to a house. You know. You guys are smashing the wrong like button. You got to go to the live video and smash the button. Are we breaking the high? What do you guys think? Break the high or pull back? What do you guys think? Type in the chat. Break the high or pull back? I want to get your guys' opinion. Let me see. What do you guys think? We could be trying to break the high, but if it fails, like watch the 4 hour. We need a 4 hour break. I think in this case, because every time the 4 hour is broken the high, then it goes. If it fails, like it's only kind of failed a few times. Like if it gets a 4 hour bearish candlestick, then it might flip over. Another buy the dip situation on gold though, guys. If you've been following the streams, if you guys have been following the live streams, we have talked about the buy the dip scenario all year. It has pretty much been the bread and butter for 2025 on gold trading. If you have been here consistently, You know exactly what I'm talking about. I know for a fact, if you've been here consistently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Break the high or pull back. I like break. I think Trump just announced something. Which let's pull up some news and stuff here. We got some stuff going on here today. So it's a different market. Let me tell you, it is a different market with Donald Trump. Was it a bear trap? Is it a bear trap? What bear trap? Some people are calling for a bear trap with crypto. That it's gonna pump in November to December. Donald Trump came out today with some tariff news. I think more tariff news. Stocks are green today. Stocks green. What did Trump say today? 150% tariffs? What did Trump say? I think he said 150% tariffs. He's just going to wake up one day, stub his toe, and be like, you're getting tariffed, you're getting tariffed. Bro, he probably, like, I think that guy like wakes up one day and like kind of like stubs his toe on the bed, or wifey didn't give him, wifey didn't like, you know, and he just like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, gold now accounts for over 20% of global central bank reserves, the highest share we've seen in nearly 3 decades. Central banks reserves, they've been accumulating gold this whole year. China is on like a 12-month buying spree with gold, actually. Everybody wants this. Ted Pillows, gold sharp rejection from 3050 level. Everybody's calling for a gold crash. Who knows? Might be too soon to say that for me. I see this chart going around everywhere on like Twitter and Instagram. I've seen this chart. I swear I've seen like a version of this chart like 20 times now. I mean, if gold tops out, it's been a historic indicator before where if like it doesn't have to be, like you can see here, gold gone up and Bitcoin went up. I mean, yeah, if gold tops out, this is what I think this is what a lot of crypto people want. A lot of crypto people want this. Maybe. I mean, gold drops a bit. Like they're not just gonna sell gold. They're gonna loan again. Like they're gonna loan against it, print more money. Like they wouldn't. Like I don't think they would just dump gold. Like gold's not just gonna dump trillions of dollars out. Like people who are in gold and have this money, like smart money, like they're gonna loan against it and stuff too. It's not just. I don't think it's just like I've seen this chart going around a lot. It's like confusing people. Maybe it would take that. Like if gold, maybe it would take that for Bitcoin to start rallying again. Because like if gold does start going on like a bear market, where's that money going to? So until we actually see gold like drop for weeks, then I wouldn't just think gold's gonna tank like that. $4,350 might be trying to break. I think Trump said like something about tariffs today, 150% tariffs. I saw while I was at the gym. President Trump says Bitcoin takes a lot of pressure off the dollar, and it's a great thing for our country. All right, that's good. There we go. President Trump to visit China in early 2026. Fed Chair Powell, banks are free to offer services to the crypto industry. The war on crypto is turning into open collaboration. The next phase of adoption has begun. Margin debt is rising at a rate. U.S. debt is the U.S. debt on across all things is crazy. Yo, tomorrow's an interesting day. Yeah, the Payments Innovation Conference is tomorrow, October 21st. Tomorrow's an interesting day for crypto, actually. There's a lot of fundamentals. Like, crypto just had the craziest liquidation ever in history. But even with that happening, there's still a lot of fundamentals around crypto. I remember posting it here. I posted this September 6th. Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve. It was a big day tomorrow. I posted this in Discord on September 6th. Yeah, tomorrow, Federal Reserve to host Crypto Payments Innovation Conference tomorrow. So they're going to be talking about digital assets, AI, tokenization, tokenized products, the blockchain, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Here, where is it? Payments conference. There's a whole schedule for it. If you're into crypto, interesting day tomorrow. Like, we're seeing more innovation, adoption. This is a big day tomorrow. It looks like Chainlink's gonna be there. Chainlink is there, yeah. Read that. I'll put that in Discord. There you go. Wait, I'll put that. That's tomorrow. I told you guys this about that's timing. Coincidental, the timing. Interesting. I gave you guys the last play on gold, the last move. Even today, like, the power of whole numbers. So if you go on the Discord, there's a section called blueprints. And in the very beginning, I posted some blueprints here about gold. Inside the Discord, again, public Discord, there's blueprints where I talk about blueprint number 2, or as I wrote, blueprint number 2 there. How gold reacts very well to hold numbers, round price levels, ending in 0, 25, 50, 75, or also other common hold numbers to watch. So we went over this. There's 2 blueprints. There's blueprint number 1. And there's another one here. Day trading and scalping levels. So there's your key price levels. There are whole numbers on gold. Those are 0, 25s, 50s, and 75s. They end in those. For example, if gold is trading at, right now, 4,350. That is a psychological level right there. That's a key price level. Another key price level would be 25. All right, 25. That's ending in a 25. Another key price level would be 4,300. Bam. That's ending in 0. So you got the zeros there. All right. Bam. Key price level would be 75. Bam. Ending in 75 there, right? 75. That key price level would be, bam, 50. All right. 25. And then we will stop at 4,200. Can you guys see all the prices? Let me play some music. Let me get Bad Bunny back on. Have you guys ever seen Bad Bunny live? That shit. Yeah. Have any of you guys ever seen Bad Bunny live? Let me tell you, that is, it's a part. That shit's lit. I've seen him twice. Once in Colombia and once in Miami. In Colombia, it was crazy. What did he say? Something about 150% tariffs if they don't make a deal, right? Bum, bum, bum. This guy's active, bro. Does he sleep? Does he sleep, fam? Former PayPal, sell gold, buy Bitcoin. Smart. They won't just sell gold. They want, like, they're gonna, like, Borrow against it, loan against it. Print more moolah. Of course, micro strategy. I keep calling them micro strategy. I'm probably just gonna keep saying that. Walmart. Where did he say that? He said that today, right? I saw it on my phone when I was working out. If a deal's not made, so he said if a deal's not made by November 1st, where was this? Oh. I'll watch some stuff later. 2 hours ago. So yeah, gold's been going up for the last two. Every time he says something, like, bro, gold just wants to go up. Every time he says something like this too, like, yeah, 2 hours ago, President Trump says China may pay 155% tariff if there is no trade deal by November 1st. President Trump says he will make a strong trade deal with China. Bitcoin will flip gold's market cap. I don't know exactly when. It might take some time. Oh. He said the quiet thing out loud. So he's visiting in early 2026 to China. He's being invited. Aren't they supposed to meet? And then they were supposed to. This whole thing has been like, it's like one day this, one day that. So we don't like. There's no deal yet. There's nothing, like, we don't have like full. Like, there's a deal. They're making a deal. This is like the tariffs still stand. There's still gonna be tariffs like on certain things, but like there's no. This is how he wants to come out. This is how he wants to come out on Monday, yo. This is how the man wants to come out on a Monday. That's how he wants to come out Monday swinging. Guy wants to come out like this on Monday. Got stopped out at break even. Sometimes you gotta just keep going for it. The dips. That was a crazy dip. So that one was like a tricky one. Yeah, Trump. So these are your key levels. Let me see. Yeah, you guys can't see all the prices. I gotta move my screen up a bit here. So we got these key price levels. You can monitor these. This is a blueprint number 1 for gold. Blueprint number 1 here. Key price levels. Or, sorry, blueprint number 2. Key price levels. Okay? Those are numbers ending in 0, 25, 50, 75. Alright? This is the chart to understand that. At the bottom, we got 4,200 here. Then we go 25. So does that make sense? This is blueprint number 1. So blueprint number 1, when we're talking about whole numbers, psychological levels, this is where you get a lot of volume with psychological levels and whole numbers. This is where a lot of volume is around with institutions, big traders, volume. All right. So we keep an eye on these levels. We mark them. Like I said, gold reacts very well to whole numbers. Round price numbers ending in again. 0, 25, 50, 75. These levels are often where institutions place their orders, and they serve as key areas of support and resistance. So gold is a high volatile pair. Whole numbers provide psychological price points where traders naturally set orders. These levels act as magnets for price. You'll often see price bounce or reverse at these zones. All right. Bam. These are key price levels for gold. All right. Now you can see last week this thing dropped all the way down to 4,200 right here at the bottom. 4,200 flat. And it made a reversal off of that. And then we'll look at price a little bit more zoomed in here. 4,200 reversal. Price goes up, makes a high, Comes back here to 42.25. Bam. Rejects it. Bam. What's it do next? It makes a higher high. This is a reversal happening on a smaller time frame, like an accumulation phase. Bam. Price pulls back into the low. Look at the prices, for example. Like if you look at the prices, your eyes might see what my eyes are adjusted to seeing and used to seeing after 11 years. Look at even 50. Like 50 might have seemed sketch, but look at it. 42.50 held nicely here. You know, you got some bam, bam, bam. There's even sells at 75. But bam. Bam. Key price levels. See what happened at 75 here? That's basically what you need gold. That's basically what you want gold to do, like here. Right now with like the high. Like break it, retest it. But there was a good little play this morning. And I caught it while laying down in bed. So if I was able to catch it while laying down in bed, looking at my phone, half awake pretty much, you guys should be able to understand this. All right. It was, if you look here, look at this chart. Bam. 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 So what do you notice? Look at my see my red line? You see the red line? Look at the number that the red line is at. Do you see? $4,300. All right, bam. Now, so bam. Look at gold this morning, 4,300. So look at my buys. Look at my base. Look at my base. Look at my bees. Look at my bees. $4,300. Whole number, psychological number. Zeros. We like the zeros. I just trusted that it was gonna react off of there. And I was like, gold's bullish. It broke up. Look how it hit 43.25. Bam. Comes down to 4,300. Nice one there. Once this candle started going up, I was buying. Well, I was buying here, like some in here on the pullback in here, and then more when this started going up. You can see here. I didn't buy at 4,300. I bought a bit before that and after. But you could see how the 4,300 price is used in this trade. Using the $4,300 price as a floor, as a support level. Understanding we could potentially hold it. Look at 42.50. Bam. Look at 42.25. Bam. Now we are above. And now we are above 43.50. Right here. Have a lot of energy today. It's because it was a good day. Maybe because like Bitcoin's not at 105 like 5 or 4. That too. No, because I ran fast today. I'm getting my stamina back. My energy back. Now we're above 43.50. Look for maybe a retest at 43.50. You might be able to short term. But if the 4-hour closes bearish underneath, like if you get the 4-hour closing bearish underneath 43.50, then we could go down. Then we could come down. Then we go down. If the 4-hour closes bearish underneath 43.50, then it's like we're flipping bearish. I'm bullish. We've been bullish. Go watch the last 2 sessions because there's some good training in there, and I did tell you guys we were like over here last week. I did say. I said this thing could just rip up. Or there's parts where I even said we could get like pullbacks. It doesn't just have to go up right away, but the whole session was about the same thing. By the dips. Gold. When's it gonna make its top? That's a deep question. Oh man. Really wish I had a crystal ball for that one right now. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. Give me a couple weeks to think about that one maybe. When's it gonna make its top? I'm not there yet, yo. Like I know I'm good at predicting the future, but like damn, like I'm not there yet. Future predictors. When's it gonna make its top? That's a difficult question. Cause right when you think it's like the moment you think it's gonna start going down is when it's like, yo, this shit's just bullish again. And you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the momentum of course is crazy. Price falls. The thing is, the falls are just sharp dips that are coming fast. Like the price falling is just like they're fast moves. They're kind of unpredictable. They usually happen in London or New York session when price does those really big drops. It's happening in the most volatile trading hours. So in terms of unpredictable, it's not so unpredictable because it's like we know likely when the time around price should like it's like if price is at a stage where it's overbought, we know when it's likely to make a big price dip. London or New York. Like these dips might seem random, but when you go look at the times they happen, it's like, oh, okay, they happen at a time where it's like, okay, the market has volatility. If price falls, is it bad for traders? Not necessarily, because like I used to send signals like I was a signal sender for years, and there was a time where most of the signals I would send were sells. Like I would always send. There was a time where I was just catching sells all the time. So no, like I wouldn't say because like once, like if a bearish trend establishes, it's like there's something to ride in there. So, for example, let's go to here, or let's even do some of these. We'll do a few. We'll go here. We gotta go look at future tops too. Like this is a point where we gotta study like future tops, when they've come in, months they've come in, like what months usually are these corrections, like similar months coming in where the tops come in or where deeper corrections come in. Those are maybe some questions to kind of maybe go think outside the box with, like because this is a weekly, so like if you go and do a daily, like you're gonna have like clean downtrend structure inside of these. Like it's gonna be just like going with the flow. Okay, this is a long downtrend. So at some point it's like you gotta recognize like it's more in a downtrend. There's way more equal selling opportunity. Like when you look at this here and you're looking at the candles, how many green candles do you see versus red candles? So the weight of the market is more going down, right? When you're getting your pullbacks, it's like you're getting clean sell, like rejection candles on all the pullbacks. It's not a market that's just going parabolic, moving higher with strong momentum. Like there's more equal weight. Like you have these downtrends that can form. Oh man, I took the other one off. I remember, I gotta find one because I remember catching loads of sells in one of these downtrends years ago. It was August. Like for traders, I wouldn't say it's bad because you'll have setups like right now I'm on a daily, but inside of these trends you'll have setups like this that will form. Pretty much how we're thinking of price right now, like these lower lows get breaking out and the market continues breaking underneath the lower lows. We're thinking of price breaking higher highs and continuing above the higher highs. So like in a downtrend, it's not going to be bad for traders if price action falls and goes to a downtrend. You just don't want to get caught in those really sharp moments where it just first starts to fall maybe and you're bullish before the trend's shifting. Because in a downtrend you'll have patterns like this develop, like waves of analysis, lows. If we were to go on a 4 hour, we'd even be able to see more. Right now we're on a daily. Because there's also like these lows here. That would be like good on the 4 hour. It's like, no, I don't think it would be terrible if price falls and a trend establishes, because I've seen downtrends before. There's times I was only just taking sells, catching sells. Like if you go back to, I'm looking for a specific trend. I think it's this one. I know because I made a video on this once. This I think it was this trend here. Like this. I think it was in here. This trend. Like, it won't be bad because if price falls, you'll form some waves that you could catch onto. Like, you don't have to catch the full trend, but you may be able to find some waves that you can catch onto. Like if price has a 10% move down or 20% move down correction, like I don't know how much this dropped, but that's 10% down. This is the daily. If price falls, it could fall for time, but there could be a wave in there that you could catch inside of that. Right? It's not about trying to catch the exact top or trying to catch the whole entire trend. It's letting something develop and then trying to ride into it. Because even right now, when you look at the daily on gold, this candle's strong. We're above 33.50. And when you go to the daily and you look at the line chart, that matches up with like a high here. So we're above that high. So it could still kind of looks like we might try to stay above 33.50. Potentially. Did it pull back to 33.50 in the time I was talking? No, right? No, it didn't. Okay. What time we got? 3 p.m. I have a few accounts. Like in the last week, I've made 40K between 3 accounts. Up 18,000 on one. Like I flipped 5K to 30. Oh man, yeah, I flipped $5,000 to 37,000, and I flipped $1,800 to 19,000. Just in the last couple of weeks. I just deposited those accounts too. I have a big account. I have one funded account. I'm up on that, but I don't trade that as much. I trade my flip accounts more, and then like, cause this is a bigger account, I don't trade it as much. Cause it's on my laptop too. Like, look, I was catching buys. I'm up like a bit. I have a funded account. I have 364,000 in this account. I'm up like literally. I'm just up 4,000 on this account. I was literally, look at the candle. Like I got out super early. I was buying here. I had buys here. Like sometimes I'll put just like a small amount, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 in an account. Try to flip it with gold. Like it's the right time with the volatility. There's opportunities there to swing. Like with me flipping an account, like I try to take, like it depends on how small if the account's really small, like you want to try to build up some quick profit with the way gold's moving. If you know how to scalp, if you're good at scalping, getting in and out of things quick, and just with the way gold is moving right now, you could build up a quick profit scalping some positions and then use that profit as risk. For me, flipping an account is all about the first trade. Like the first trade has to be meaningful. For me, it's like it has to be a meaningful first position, and I want to find a good first trade. So when I say meaningful, it's like about the risk too. Like I'm not risking, for me when I'm trying to flip an account, I'm not risking 1% or 2% on the first trade. I'm going to be risking a good amount more than that, probably like 10, maybe even 20%, or even depending on the account size. It depends on the account size really. Because for me, if I put $2,000 in an account, I can risk $1,000 on a trade. I'm willing to do that. It's not proper risk management, right? But for me, with where I'm at, like with me, I could put 2K, 3K in an account, and I'll go, okay, I'm gonna risk $1,000 on the first trade. I'm gonna risk $500 on the first trade. And then that for me, it's about that first trade matters, right? It's people always ask about account flipping. I mean, it's not a consistent strategy. You don't want that to be your main strategy. Like it's good. Like you can have profitable weeks just by going for 2-3 setups a week, maybe even 2 setups a week. You can have profitable weeks. But I look at the risk. Like for me, I look at like what's the money to me on the account balance. Like if I put $3,000 in an account, I'm willing to risk $500 on a trade, or $500 to $1,000 on a trade, because that's my risk, and I know I can come back from that. I know I can handle the loss. But to me, it's like low risk. The trade can make that higher gain. Because if I start the first trade, like for me, if I start the first trade right, a good first trade, and I do a high risk, I can get a quick profit quick. Like I could scale the balance up. Because me when I'm flipping an account, I want to scale the balance up to use some of that profit for risk. So that first trade, usually when I'm trying to flip an account, I'm going more risky on, so I can have a quick profit. Because I might not even, like I'll go risky on the first trade, but I won't even maybe close the trade at full target, because a good percentage was just made. So build up like some quick scalping profits. That's what I'm used to doing. I've been doing that for a long time though. Someone asked, when did I start? When? Like 11 years ago. I started trying to flip accounts 11 years ago. I would do it on news. I would trade crazy. Like a while ago was when I started trying to flip accounts. My first time trying to flip an account was 11 years ago for me. So that experience is like it's been a long experience. I've done that for a while. Someone asked when did 11 years ago. I would put $250 into an account and try to flip it for the week. Something like that. Same broker, multiple accounts. yeah, maybe this China news is keeping things back kind of at it again. We had this, like I said, I showed it not that long ago. This whole thing from Trump. Honestly, it might sound very cliche, kind of basic, but I like to use the stochastic RSI as like a basic indicator for beginners and moving average. I've been using that for like years, and it's an indicator. Indicator's a tool. It indicates something. It's not a full-on strategy, but and like an indicator doesn't tell you when to buy or sell. It indicates like where you are, what phase you're in, what phase you could be going into. So like I'll use like smart money traders probably will be like, wow, you use stochastic or RSI. The stochastic RSI is a good one. It like helps read when the market's overbought or oversold. Oversold, overbought. So like if you're trading a strategy, like you're trading a correction, you're trading a retracement, or in this case, like add this on top of what I taught you guys today. Like I taught you guys a lot about the buy the dips, the retracements. Add on the stochastic to that, and you'll see pretty much like all the times gold has dropped a lot, it's come down to oversold levels. Moving average is good. Price is a good indicator too with gold, like because we trade gold. Price is a very, very good indicator too. When you can read price, price works very, very well with gold. A lot of times I'm not even looking at indicators or anything like that. A lot of times I'm just looking at price. Like this morning I caught a trade here, like off of this buy. This. Mind you, this thing moved. Look at the movement. That was like a $50 move almost, $40 plus move. Like really, I was just reading momentum. Like okay, I recognize momentum seemed pretty strong for gold. It felt strong too. A lot of like when you're a trader, as long as I've been, sometimes it's working off of even like feeling too. Like you can feel like okay, how the market is right now. The market's strong. You can feel when it's bearish. You can feel when it's bullish. Like if Friday didn't feel bearish, then it's like, yo, that's where the momentum was. I was in a drawdown for a bit. I had a trade that hit like a TP2, but ended up taking a loss, and then I was in a drawdown on gold, but I followed my plan. This morning, like the trade that I took there, the one I just showed you, like it was just reading price, reading the momentum, like reading how strong price is for this moment. Once you spend enough time on the charts, guys, like it's consistency. The game is just consistency and repetition. Some people ask me questions that it's like sometimes I don't even have the answer to because I just naturally do things the way I do things. So it's just like repetition. That's like anything in life that you want to get good at, that you want to get naturally good at. That's just kind of like second nature to you. It's just repetition of time on the charts, like for recognizing and being able to read momentum, like reading like sometimes it's a feeling for me. Like sometimes it's how I feel. Like I can feel how price is, and I can feel how the market is, like where we are at with the way the chart is moving. But price is a good gauge. It's good to gauge off of, to work off of, to use. It's good to use price. It's like a skeleton. It's like a grid. It gives us a good grid. It's like a skeleton and a grid. If we're above certain prices, and there's strong momentum, it's likely the market could maybe maintain or hold that price. When did I realize my full-time trading was for me? Like after 4 years, 5 years, probably 4 or 5 years. Like from day one, I wanted to be a trader. So from day one, it was like the motivation to recognize to want to be one. Yo, if you haven't seen all the YouTube videos though, guys, I got my camera guy. I got good old Leo. Leo's coming to live with me. Damn, from October. He's coming tomorrow. Man's coming October 22nd in 2 days. Yo, so Leo's coming. I got the camera guy coming, so we're going to be cooking and finishing up some stuff that we started in Dubai. If you haven't seen all my YouTube videos, check them out. There's a lot of value, a lot of information deep packed inside of a lot of those videos. Make sure you guys check them out if you have not seen them all. New videos are coming. Just posted a video the other day, 2 days ago. There's some testimonials. Some of you guys in my inner circle are going to be popping up on my YouTube. I've made some testimonial videos. Some people are asking if this one was real. This was the first interview we did. I interviewed her again. So we got part 2 dropping probably soon, but it's all real results. I don't keep it on the MT5, but that's a good idea. I just keep the lines. So a lot of times my chart, let me see if I can find a good image. This doesn't really have a lot, but you can see I'll keep the red light, like I'll keep the prices marked good majority of the time. Like I think that's good. That's a good tip I could recommend is like keeping, like see here for instance, like this isn't even a good example. Let me see. On my MT5, because it's like just rated. That's a good idea though. That's a good idea. Like see here for instance, I have like I keep the prices that I think matter marked. Like I'll mark like every $5, every $10 on there. Like usually I'll take kind of what's in front of me and just like mark some levels. It doesn't show a lot on here, on these ones. I don't know why. Like this chart, like I'll usually mark the horizontal lines. It really helps train your eye. Like if you're spending time looking at the candles, it helps you read price a lot. You spend your time just kind of seeing price in certain stages after it's made certain moves, watching it. It's like a very good direct vision. I find it's sharper. It's just easier to see sometimes in the laptop. So it's a good way to study the price, I think. I think it's a good way to study the price. I'm going to wrap it up though, yo, for the day. It's all real people. There she is. She's in the chat right there. All right. I got some DMs on my Instagram asking if it was real. When I started trading, I was under 20 years old. I wasn't even 20 years old yet. If you're in your 20s, that's when you should be taking the most risk. You're in your 20s, you're 19, 20, 21, 22, 21, 23, 24, like those ages, that's when you should be taking the most risk, doing the most work, doing the most. That's when you should be putting the most time in, the most grind, the most work, the most hours, the most everything. I started trading before I was 20. Around like the end of high school, like the last year of high school is when I started learning about trading. We might try to stay above 33.50. That could be if that fails, then that means like the 4 hour flips bearish. If the 4 hour closes underneath 33.50, then I think it could have a deeper retracement. But I'd be maybe just watching to see if 33.50 holds. All right. But yo, I'm out. I'm gonna wrap it up for the afternoon here. I'm going to be on later tonight. Once again, I'll be back on tonight in the inner circle. I'll be on tonight. I wasn't on this morning. We're going to wrap it up for the afternoon here. We'll see what gold does tonight, but we'll be on tonight, guys. All right? That's it for the day. We're going to keep an eye on gold and see if it's trying to break the high and try to go higher. Maybe this thing's trying to push to 3,400. If we break above the high, if we get above there. We'd have to watch this, see how price trades from here. Only thing I'd see for like bullish would be maybe a pullback to 33.50. 33.50 could maybe have a reaction, potentially hold. I'll be on tonight though. Peace out. Make sure you guys check out the videos on YouTube. There's been a good amount posted lately. Check them out.